So we got ourselves a little response from Orlando Brown about his broken leg, which, as he said, did play the ending part of the season with a broken leg, and shout out to him for that. But starting off right away, he said, "My leg is feeling much better. It's callousing over," which, yeah, the skin is creating calluses over his broken leg, which I would assume does not look too good to see. It's good, obviously, in the end, but, that probably does not look that good. He says, "I can't just sit around this time of year and not do anything. I've got to do something." And yeah, no, I would assume so. That's another thing with injuries. It's you got to get up and move it. You got to do something. Joe Burrow talked about this with his wrist injury where, he's like, I can't just sit there and not throw the ball and not use it. If you don't use it, the muscles will actually go ahead and they're pinch up and you won't be able to use the muscles anymore. So you have to keep them loose. You have to always use them and continuously, do exercise or, therapy or whatever to fix it. So I'm sure he's going to be very much focused on that this offseason. Hopefully he is ready to go for the season. He should be. Obviously playing the last bit of time on a broken leg definitely does not help out. Now, of course, when he says broken leg, he doesn't mean it was broken the last couple of weeks. It was broken at one point of this season, and he recovered. But as he was recovering, he was still playing. So, normally when you break a leg, you don't play through the broken leg. You break your leg and you just kind of chill, recover, and you don't play football for a couple months. Well, for him, he played through it because he wanted to give us the best chance to win. So even though, yes, his leg was broken, he still played, which obviously could damage him for the future, could hurt him for the future. It hopefully doesn't. That's the goal overall wise, that it doesn't hurt us for the future. But we'll have to wait and see because, again, this offseason, this is a very pivotal offseason. We need to get this offseason correct. So with him, hopefully everything gets figured out very, very nicely. And hopefully this leg injury doesn't linger in any circumstance. That's the overall goal. But again, like I said, it really comes down to whether or not his body heals correctly. I'm not sure what the longevity is going to be of him playing on it when he was supposed to be recovering. But yeah, so Orlando Brown does have 2 years left on his contract. So he has next year, the year after that. He's set to make $15 million this year and then $21.98 million next year. So he's kind of in that time period where he's going to start wanting to talk about a new contract. He's going to be 30 years old when his contract expires, which for an offensive lineman is fine. Offensive linemen age like fine wine. The older they get, the better they get. So he's going to want to start talking about it, though. So not only is it important this offseason for him as a player to make sure he's okay, make sure he gets better, make sure he is 100%, but it's also going to be very pivotal for him working out a new contract. Because my guess is either sometime this offseason or maybe sometime next offseason, he's going to be trying to talk about his contract. He's going to be starting to talk about his contract. What we've seen around the league is usually around 2 years left to your contract, you start kind of pushing the idea of a new contract. And then once you get closer and closer, you kind of ham that up. So we're probably going to see him really going down the laundry list of, hey, I need a new contract. What's the deal? What are we doing here? My future pretty much. Because especially with him playing through this injury, we don't know the longevity of it. So he's going to start really hamming toward his future and worrying about how his future will be affected, and make sure he's on the contract. That's why Trey Hendrickson, again, he wants another 3 years to his contract because he wants to make sure his future he doesn't have to worry about. And if he gets hurt, the last thing you want is to get hurt and not have a contract, and then bam, now you're up, Schitt's Creek without a paddle, right? because you're like, well, I'm hurt now. They're like, well, we're not going to pay you that much because, sorry, but you're not going to help out the team. So he'll probably work that out sometime soon. We'll probably get an update within the next year or maybe this offseason and get contracts done. Maybe not this offseason, though, because this offseason is going to be the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins offseason. And with all those things happening at once and us spending all this money, I don't know if they're going to want to try to get his contract done. They're probably going to be like, hey, listen, unless he's willing to rework his contract, maybe put some money toward the future and get an extension that way. That could be something. If we want to rework his contract, we're like, hey, listen, we want to rework this contract and we'll give you 3-4 more years of your contract to take us to 2030. But we want you to give us some money back so we can rework it to get more money for T. Higgins and for, all the other guys. So, again, there's always ways to work around this, and we'll see how this all season goes. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.